the stage, CEO of FamilySearch International, Steve Rockwood.
Welcome to RootsTech 2024. Welcome to all of you here in Salt Lake City. Welcome to all of you online, literally from all over the world. We've only just begun, and I just received word that we already have over 1 million people joining us one way or another from 190 countries. So thank you very, very much. We're just so humbled that you're here. Now let me ask you something. When you were young, whenever you left the house, did you used to hear what I used to always hear from my parents? Remember who you are. Remember what you stand for. My parents knew that if I would remember, I would actually act differently. When I remembered, I would act better. In fact, when I was a young man, Spencer W. Kimball taught that the word remember could be considered the most important word in the dictionary because of our great need to remember. Now, fast forward, when my wife and I were young parents with incredible 4 little boys, whenever I left home on a business trip, I would put a simple Lego brick in my pocket to remind me of home, to remind me of them. Anytime while I was on the road, I put my hand in my pocket, I could feel that, felt that Lego piece, boom, I would remember. I would remember who I was. I would remember what I stood for. Most importantly, I would remember them. And when I remembered them, I would act differently. I would actually act better. Such a small, simple thing. Such a powerful word, remember. Our theme this year is remember. Some might say it could be considered the most important theme we've ever had because of our great need to remember and to be remembered. Let me show you what I mean.
I came into this room. There was a chair, and they asked me to sit down.
Noticed that it was open space and beautiful windows. Didn't know quite what to expect, and so we'll see where we end up. My grandmother was a great teacher. She taught us everything.
Una perspectiva de mi familia puede ser mi propio padre, que me ayudó y me formó para poder llegar a ser lo que soy.
A characteristic of my dad that I think I've inherited from him is a kindness. I learned from him to love everyone and give everyone a shot.
The person who made an extremely significant difference in my life was my grandma. She was my everything when I was a little girl.
Someone that made a big impact in my life is my sister. She did everything for her family, not thinking about her own self. I'm trying to be more like her.
How do I compare to my grandmother? What I think that makes an extraordinary person is, first of all, the talent that they have.
I don't think I'm extraordinary in any way. I think I'm just a regular person.
I feel my life is average.
I don't think I've lived that exemplary life. I'm not sure if anyone would ever want to read my story.
They asked me these questions about my life, and then this movie projector started playing, and it was a video about me.
Hi, Maj.
Hola, Papa.
Hi, Rito.
Hi, Lola. If I were to describe you in 3 words, I would choose integrity. Brave.
Selfless.
I saw my photos on the screen, and it made me think of my families where I came from.
I don't know if it's because you lost your dad at such a young age, but you've always taught us to be close to our family and be grateful.
There's just a feeling of happiness and togetherness.
You never showed any fear. You showed courage and bravery.
You're everything I wanna be. How could I ever help you see the light you gave to me means more than I could ever say. You're everywhere when I run free. With every word and every plea, you brought me back to you and turned my nights back into day. I'm letting go of all the pain, of all the ways I let you down when I was searching on my own. And when I found I've lost my way, I'll think of when you held me close and said, I'll never be alone.
Y siempre ha sido un gran ejemplo para mí.
Es un gigante entre hombres.
They make me feel so special.
You guys just treat each other with so much love, and it's just really great to see that relationship.
You mean the world to me, Mom.
I love you. I think I have the best grandma and grandpa in the whole world. I love you, Lola.
When I saw that video, it made me feel like my story was worth remembering.
When I see that my story has touched other people, it gives me great joy.
Me sentí muy feliz porque veo que mis hijos han seguido el ejemplo de progresar, de ser mejores.
I feel blessed that they have this, because that was my purpose, my thought, to give them memories that I have done something to make an influence or to bring joy to them or to touch their hearts.
Seeing my family, I realized that my life was important.
I think we're running out of time for me to say to you the life you lived was so much more than ordinary. And when we have to say goodbye, I'll find a way to have the strength to say, 'cause it's a part of my own story. And I'll remember the way you looked, the way you lived, the way you loved forever.
When I saw my mom and dad, the rest of the family that have gone before, I just missed them so much, and realized all the influence that they have done to shape my character. Made me sad and happy at the same time. It was too much to express.
I want my grandchildren to remember me as their best friend, as their biggest cheerleader, that I love them.
I realized that I've influenced other people too.
Yo creo que mi historia debe ser recordada para mis hijos. Hubiera querido tener mejores películas si tuviera tenido un aparato como este. Sí.
I realized that it's important to leave them a story of my life.
My story.
My story.
Mi historia.
My story
is worth remembering.
My friends, how are you feeling right now? I hesitate even to say anything that will interrupt that feeling. And I can't look at my mother right now on the front row. But let me ask you, who do you know who needs to feel what you just felt? Who needs the reminder that their story is worth remembering? Who comes to mind? Who's coming to your heart right now? All right, enough of that. This is RootsTech. So now I want to invite you, get out your phones. I'd like you to scan this QR code. Because if you scan this QR code, it will make it super easy for you to share this video with that person who just came to your mind. Go ahead, go for it. Let that video be the Lego brick that reminds them to remember who they are. All right, I saw phones come out, so way to go. Because at RootsTech, within a few short minutes being here, you have just inspired someone to remember their roots using a little tech. So we just lived up to the conference's name. With a bit of technology, your family history journey can now once again bless someone else's life's journey. And that's what this is all about. Because this is no surprise. Because you've been doing this for decades. You know what I'm talking about. Remember how you first put the personal computer to work years ago to help others personally discover their roots? Remember how you leveraged the internet to revolutionize this whole family history industry and make this passion accessible to all? Remember how you used the mobile phone and social media together and created light by enabling especially young people to have their family story with them 24/7. And remember what you've done with DNA to help millions discover where they come from, meet long-lost family members, and then together break through genealogical brick walls. Now, speaking of bricks, I recently learned that the name Lego comes from the Danish phrase leg godt, which means play well. You have always played well. You have always taken double-edged technology and used it for good. Now, imagine what you're all going to be able to do with generative AI. Generative AI has garnered a lot of press since the last time we met. And while it has this incredible potential to change everything for us, just like the internet did, the headlines have appropriately been primarily focused on concerns and risk. But here at RootsTech, we're going to show the world amazing examples of how to use generative AI responsibly. Once again, we will use the latest technology to create goodness, light, and connection. Because that is who you are. And that is why you're here, to connect the world, to help people remember who they really are and what they stand for. Now, I'm also told that Lego means I put together or I assemble in Latin. So the cool thing about Legos is that everyone from all ages can play well and build together. My sons grew up with a grandpa that actually worked for Legos. And on top of that, part of his job was he was to help the Lego store at Disneyland. Can you imagine that combination? How cool is that? It's literally part of our family history that continues today. Just on Sunday, I found out that my 5-year-old grandson gave little Lego sets away to his friends as his Valentines just a few weeks ago. Family history, like Legos, is where families, young and old, build their family story together, one brick at a time. And as you build, our job at FamilySearch is to simply ask one question: how can we help? Our passion is to help you find your missing bricks, no matter what they are and no matter where they are. Whether you're in search of that missing name, that missing record or DNA marker, or research chip, we simply ask you, how can we help? And as we help, at times, we might have exactly what you're looking for at FamilySearch, but actually there's even greater possibility that your missing piece can only be found in the vast resources of our industry friends, the archives, the libraries, societies, and commercial providers all over the world. So we'd love to actually escort you to them, introduce you to them so they can become your Lego heroes. We don't care where the missing pieces are, we just want to help you find them. Whatever you need to play well. Whatever you need to build your family story. Whatever you need to bless your family. If that even requires us to take off our shoes and walk around the world barefoot, waiting to hit that excruciating pain that only comes when you step on a Lego piece, we will do it. Because that one Lego piece helps us remember who we are and what we stand for, and that is to help you. Thank you so much for coming, and remember, have fun and play well. Thank you, everyone.